Today's video, Europe versus America, 10 differences.
We are Greg and Lisa, an American couple living abroad in Spain. If you are curious about the crazy, funny, and surprising differences between the US and Europe, you came to the right place. We are on our way to 5,000 subscribers, so come along for the ride. Be like everybody else and hit the subscribe button.
Okay, so we've done some of these, but we'll see if there's anything different.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, so this is, oh man, I did too big. Global things.
Global things.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's see what we got here. Okay.
Okay, ready.
Oh, would you just wait? I'm glad. Okay, here we go.
Europe versus America. It's a debate as old as time, or well, not really as old as time, because the United States is only about 250 years old and Europe is way older, but still, you know what I'm saying. One's a continent and one's a country. They're two very different and yet still pretty similar.
I'm glad he pointed that out, because a lot of people point that out. That
What?
One's a country, one's
A continent.
A continent.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Places overall. Today I've come to Europe to show you 10 of my favorite differences between the two. Well, actually,
Okay.
I mean, I was just here anyway, but I decided to make this video because why not? So without further ado, let's get started. Difference number
All right.
one,
Uh-oh.
size. Europe was built a long time ago, and its big cities are narrow and small, and the streets were made for pedestrians and horses. Unlike our gas-guzzling stroads in the United States, you can actually walk around and it's nice and compact. That's why Europeans can't fathom
Stroads around.
Yeah, gas guzzling stroads in the United States. I don't know.
the fact that we can drive 8 hours.
That's true. And it
This
was the
is sickening.
longest 8 hours.
This is sick.
We lived in Austin,
Mhm.
and we had to drive to get to. It was long
Yeah.
and flat.
Yeah.
And still be in Texas.
Flying home from Italy, I literally got a view of the entire country of Monaco outside my window. Like, what the heck?
In America, we tend to have a lot more living space, and our houses are definitely bigger and on more land, typically. Which comes with its ups and downs, because you certainly get a lot of neighborhoods that look like this, and this, and this. In Europe, gas is also a lot more expensive than it is in the States, and so people have incentives to drive less. And when they do drive, they typically drive these goofy, tiny little Mickey Mouse-looking cars.
We don't think they're goofy.
I like those.
Yeah, we
I
like
love those.
We want one. That's on our
we
list.
want one.
We're gonna be getting one soon.
You definitely won't see any gas-guzzling, lifted, six-wheel pickup trucks with Trump
What? What's that?
looking cars. You definitely won't see any gas-guzzling, lifted,
I mean, why? Why?
The purple's pretty.
It does. It does.
But
no.
six-wheel pickup trucks with Trump flags anywhere here in Europe.
Yeah,
they're
we make
just
fun of
not
these
on our
people.
level. I don't know what to tell you. But it is not just the cities and cars that are smaller in Europe, because it's literally everything. For one, the people here are brutally suppressed by smaller food and drink portions, which is totally unfathomable to me. I mean, how could you? That's not a meal. That's a snack. That's what I get when going to the pantry at 2 a.m. I don't know. It's also fitting. I'm literally recording in the smallest country in the world right now, in the Vatican. But all the countries in Europe are pretty much smaller. I mean, look at the map. It's like, yeah. To give you an idea of just how much smaller living in Europe is than the United States, just take a look at the population density. It's a little different. Other smaller things in Europe include the rooms, elevators. What else is smaller in
Refrigerators. What else can you think of? Furniture.
Closets?
No, not the furniture. I just made some up. I can't take the pressure.
Europe, Dad? People are smaller. The
he's
sizes
trying
are
to-
different. I have to buy large shirts here because I'm American.
That's
You get the
true.
point.
Yeah.
Literally everything is smaller here. It's kind of weird, but kind of cool. I don't know. Difference number 2, bathrooms. In America, it is more than common for us to just stop on the side of the road at any old business and do our business there and leave. That is unless you live in the state of Florida, because you guys literally just whiz anywhere, apparently. Like, seriously, what is wrong with you people? You can't really do that here, though. If the business does have a bathroom, which most of them don't, typically only like coffee shops and restaurants do, you usually have to buy something before you use their lavatory facilities. It can be something small, like a little cup of espresso or whatever, but you still should buy something. It's like, it's polite. Oh yeah, also,
He's talking about in America.
Are we talking about America?
I think so.
Oh.
Is he?
fair warning, carry toilet paper with you.
No.
We found that
No?
out the
This
hard
is Europe.
way. I will not elaborate anymore. Let's just say we will be leaving Europe with one fewer pairs of socks than we came with. They also don't have seats on a lot of the toilets here, so you gotta squat. Unlike their American.
Yeah, they don't have seats.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. And I think the first time I noticed it, I didn't understand. But I believe
Yo, what's happening here?
I believe they don't have seats as just a hygiene thing. So it doesn't need to be cleaned as often. It's harder to clean a toilet with a seat. So literally there's no seat. It's just the porcelain.
Okay.
And so you hover.
I mean, I guess that could be bad for women, but never mind. This is getting too much.
American counterparts, European toilets have 2 buttons, one for poop and one for pee. The idea is obviously to save a little bit of water, which I find pretty cute. Considering in America, I leave my shower running between uses to keep the water warm. A lot of southern European countries also use these booty blast bowls when they're done dropping the kids off at the pool. Difference number 3.
What do you think about those bidets?
We used them before.
Oh, like an Airbnb in America?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like them.
You don't like them?
We have one here.
Well, I've never used it here.
We don't use it.
I mean, I had never used one, so I was like, what does it? I wonder. Curiosity.
Yeah, I'm not even 100% sure how to use it and everything.
Yeah. Wow, you guys are getting a lot of information today, so
okay, let's keep
thanks
going.
for coming.
Food. The food in Europe is absolutely atrocious in comparison to what we have in the States. What they do is they don't load them up with preservatives, so you can't get your Big Mac today and enjoy it.
Did he say the food was atrocious?
He's being sarcastic.
Okay.
This whole video is.
That's what I thought, but I was just making sure, because, some people be commenting and be like, what's wrong with you?
No, he's being sarcastic.
Okay, all right.
In 2 months' time. It's nothing short of communism over here. A lot of European countries even use a Nutri-Score to let you know how fast it will clog your arteries and make you feel bad for eating everything.
The first time we saw that, obviously, was when we came here.
Yeah.
We thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah,
we seriously don't buy anything unless, if it has that on it and it's like a D or something.
Well, some candies have D. We still get candy.
I get candy. I don't care if it was A, B, C, D, F, G, whatever.
Okay.
Thing that you eat. They had it in France. It was pretty depressing looking at all the things I ate. Looked a lot like my report card at school. In America, our food is fast and efficient. I mean, shoot, just look at Wonder Bread, man. We call it that because we wonder what's in it. It's fantastic. Or how about Cheese Whiz? You're not gonna find that anywhere else.
God.
Guaranteed. Unless it's in the America aisle at your foreign supermarket. That's what they think of us, guys. They think we're Cheese Whiz and cereal and Pop-Tarts. And they're right.
Also, what in the name of freedom-loving, democracy-spreading, mobility scooter riding, red, white, and blue apple pie are these patriotic ass brownies I found doing in Italy? And someone please tell me what kind of American experience these off-brand generic Timua cereals are, because I've never seen this in my life.
Difference number 4, water. Much like the United States, most European countries have safe tap water. That is except for you guys in the Balkans. Sorry. However, there are definitely water differences between the US and Europe. For one, and this is a major one, check this out.
Oh.
Yes.
Water bottle cap still attached. How nice. A lot of Europeans say that actually annoys them that they have their caps attached, but I think this is a fantastic innovation. And when it comes to restaurants, water is not free.
Isn't that crazy? Like that we didn't have attached cap. So for Americans, that's like the coolest thing.
It is the coolest thing. I remember one time mine fell off, or when I twisted too much, like I just felt weird. Like I had to figure out how to get it back on and get another bottle.
Is in the US. You actually have to pay for a bottle of water that usually looks something like this. I've also noticed that they use a lot more glass over here than we do in the States.
Yeah,
Europeans also enjoy sparkling water, which I deeply appreciate. When you ask for water here in a European restaurant, your waiter will more than likely follow up by asking you whether you want still or sparkling water. When I order sparkling water in the United States, I'm usually spat on and banned from the establishment. Difference number 5. Age. Everything in Europe, like I said, is old. I mean, seriously, this building behind me, the Basilica, is like that many years old. I don't know. I gotta look it up. And the United States is like 250. Europe is home to...
Yeah, we were walking downtown yesterday, and I took a picture of a building that was from 1770.
Yeah.
It's older than America.
It's older than America.
Palaces, castles, and ancient ruins all over the continent. I mean, we have our ruins too, though. We have, Detroit, St. Louis, Baltimore. Plenty of nice places.
Wow.
Difference number 6.
Yeah.
Money. Most countries in the European Union use the euro, you definitely cannot see that, as their currency. The euro is worth a little bit more than the dollar at the time of me making this video, but depending on where you are in the continent, the cost of living might be a little bit more than, a little...
Yeah, we don't want to talk about what it's worth now.
It's trash.
Yeah, that's true.
People are saying this is average, this is normal, but I don't know.
It's like 86 cents now or something.
88, 87, something like that.
Yeah.
little bit less than or pretty close to the cost of living in the United States. For example, Norway is generally a lot more expensive than the US, while Portugal is generally pretty cheaper. Pretty cheaper. That's not the way you say that, but pretty cheaper. A lot cheaper. Much cheaper. Europeans also definitely pay a lot more in taxes than we do in the States. As a general rule of thumb, you can expect to lose about a third of your salary to the government in the United States, while here in Europe, in a lot of places, it's more like half or even more than half sometimes.
Oh, wow.
But they also get a lot more social services like tax-funded education and free health care. While in America, you break it, you buy it, and it's not cheap either. Overall, Americans do tend to be a little bit richer than Europeans. They tend to make more money, but the Europeans do get more vacation and leisure time. And no, not here? All right. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm something of a bad boy myself. You know, the Vatican police tried to tell me I couldn't record, and, you know, I kept my educational geography footage when he told me not to. I'm something of a criminal myself. Anyway, as I was about to say, in Europe, they use a lot more coins than we do here in the United States, and that's pretty much because they're actually useful over there. This here is a 2 euro coin, and I also have a 1 euro coin. We actually do have golden dollar coins here in the United States, but literally nobody uses them like ever. I genuinely believe most Americans would think that the dollar coin was fake if you showed it to them. You would have to like explain why you're paying with a dollar.
Yeah, I don't know if you readily see those. I feel like there are some big coins.
50-cent coins.
Oh yeah, there's 50-cent coins.
Yeah, but I don't know.
A coin, if you handed it to someone, they'd be like, really, this? Just pay with freaking card, dude. Nobody uses these ever. It does look pretty cool though. It's got the Statue of Liberty on it, and you know, $1. In America, it's expected that we leave like a 20% tip for our waiters at restaurants. We also tip our drivers, food delivery people, valet, the people who clean our hotel rooms, our barbers. You know, that one I get though. I would be afraid to not tip my barber just next time I went. I just don't think I would get the same cut. In Europe, tipping isn't really expected. However, I do think they are starting to pick up the practice a little bit, at least with the tourists, because every time we ate, the waiters asked us if we wanted to leave a tip. They did not hesitate at all. Maybe it's just because we're American. I don't know what looks American about me. I mean, my Italian is absolutely perfecto.
We've experienced that.
Yeah.
Well, just because we're American.
Yeah.
They didn't say, would you leave a tip? But they did kind of say stuff like, tips are not on the credit card, or you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, he was talking to us about where we're from, and then we ended up telling him. And then he just casually said, "Well, it's just so you know, there's no tip on the receipt." And we were like, "Okay."
Which, I mean, I'm not mad at him. But,
no,
you know,
we're mad at him.
Yeah.
It's just.
But, I mean, beats me. Nonetheless, they asked for them anyway. But tipping is still definitely not viewed as a requirement like it is here in the U.S., because if you don't tip in America, at least at restaurants, you're going to get some funny looks. Or next time you come back, there will be a wad of spit on your food. Unless the service is just, like, actually atrocious. What's good is that in Europe, you're never really going to get that experience where they flip around the little tip tablet thing and stare into your soul as you choose the tip amount. It's horrible.
Difference number 7, public transportation. In Europe,
they did that one time at
it was like a grocery store.
It was just a grocery store.
Yeah, like a little convenience store.
She flipped it around.
And I was like, I'm just buying a pack of candy.
Yeah, it was something simple I was buying. And it literally had the 15. No, it had like 18, 20, 25. It
was like Turkish Delights or something. You were getting something
like that. Yeah. And I canceled it but it was awkward.
Yeah.
Transportation is in every big city, in pretty much every country. Behind me, I'm about to take the metro station here in Rome. This is the station called Termini. In America, the closest thing we have to public transportation is, nothing. In New York, you have the subway. That's about it. In Chicago, there's some other stuff. I've heard the DC subway is okay. The metro there is okay. But that's about it. We got...
Oh, like the BART system in California?
Yeah, in the Bay Area. And then, like, probably in San Francisco, they do have buses and things like that. So, I mean, they have buses, but...
Yeah, everywhere has buses.
But they run every 45 minutes or an hour. Out here, they run about every 4 minutes.
We got our 3 little ones, maybe 4 somewhere else, I don't know. In addition to the metros here in the big cities, though, Europeans also have trains, high-speed rail that they like to use, whereas we don't. We just drive everywhere, all the time, every single day. Usually these kinds of public transportation things are just funded through the taxes, like earlier, how I mentioned Europeans pay more in taxes. These are some of the reasons why. Europe's fastest train, the Trenitalia Frecciarossa, has a top speed of nearly 250 miles per hour, while America's fastest train, the Acela, has a top speed of 150 miles per hour. Although on average, both of those trains definitely travel slower than their top speeds. Let's not be fooled here. One thing about
I think the French have 300 miles an hour.
Oh, he said that was the top speed one.
I don't know how old this video is.
Oh, 8 months.
Some people were recommending for us to watch a French train.
Really?
Yeah, it goes super, super fast.
That'd be a cool video.
Yeah.
I like those things.
About public transportation, especially in the metros, is that it can get pretty frickin' crowded, dude. I was basically smelling this dude's head the entire ride, but for €3, it was worth it, honestly. Then in Rome, we paid €7 per ticket for a 24-hour metro pass, and it was totally worth it. I mean, you could see the entire city, just hop on the metro. They have stations pretty much everywhere you need to go, so it is very convenient. Would recommend. Another thing is I was actually pretty impressed at how clean the metro stations were in the European cities that I've been to. I've only rode the metros in Paris and Rome, but those two were pretty good, honestly. I'm sure the locals would beg to differ, but for me, like, they weren't that bad. The standards I'm going off of are New York, which is a very low bar to set, to say the least. You gotta make sure you don't have Ratatouille cooking up a lasagna in your hair when you get home from a ride in a New York subway. Difference number 8, smoking and alcohol. In Europe, it seems like everybody smokes cigarettes everywhere. It seems to be a very relaxed kind of thing.
Seems like it, but I had a discussion with someone in one of our comments that told me and reminded me that it was probably like 23%. I think it was pretty close to America. I think 23% of the people in America smoke, and it was like 27 or something. Yeah, of people in Spain at least.
But I think the difference was that in a lot of places in America, not all of them, but there were some key places that don't allow smoking, obviously inside the restaurant and or bar, restaurant, cafes,
right?
Or on the patio either.
Yeah,
there's like you have to be a certain foot.
Yeah, distance.
There you go. Away from the building.
I got you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Over there, maybe people see it as like cool. I don't know, man, honestly. In America, we definitely have more of a stigma against smoking, and that's not to say that people don't smoke in America, because trust me, they definitely do. You know, my jaw doesn't just drop every time I see someone smoking a cigarette over here, but it is definitely viewed as like a more taboo kind of thing. I don't know. Another thing is in America, the legal drinking age is 21, whereas it's 18 in most of Europe, if not even lower in some countries. And now, even though the drinking age is 18, it kind of isn't, because nobody really cares what you do over there. In Europe, they're very relaxed about it, while here in America, they still ask my middle-aged parents to show their IDs when they order a drink. Difference number 9, language.
I like this guy because he's really like noticing. Yeah. He's not just like some of you have commented on other videos where they only say one thing, and sometimes it's in favor of like the America, or whatever. Right? But he's noticing all the little differences and pointing them out. Yeah, like saying that it's not everywhere; it's also this, including this. You know, I don't know. Right? Yeah, am I making sense?
Yeah, enough sense.
Enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Languages. Basically, every single European, except for the people in this general area, is multilingual. On top of their native languages, people in Europe typically learn.
What? Do you know what that was?
That's the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just talking to a couple of people on the comments, and they do know other languages. I don't know the names of it off the top of my head, but there's like 2 or 3 other languages besides English.
Oh, okay.
American.
Maybe you could tell us.
In school, the best language, obviously. But then in Belgium and Switzerland, they take it to a whole other level. The waffle people speak French in the southern part of the country and Dutch in the northern part of the country. The skiing bankers speak French in the western part of the country, Italian in the very south of the country, a little bit of a language called Romansh, and German everywhere else. But hey, in America, some of us call it pop and some of us call it soda! So hey, we've got that. There are only 3 reasons you will find a multilingual person in the United States. Number 1, they were born
born in another country, you know, easy enough. Number 2, their parents were born in another country and they just sort of learned the language, because why not? Or number 3, a white dude married a Latina and had to learn Spanish to impress her parents. Those are the only 3 reasons. There are no exceptions to that. Believe it or not, the US now has almost as many Spanish speakers as Spain itself, but still 78% of Americans speak only English, including me. Another thing is that when Europeans do speak English, it's almost always British English. So instead of using the correct spelling of color, they will throw in the stupid ink-wasting U that the British like to use. I mean, what the heck? It's not color. Do you think you're more sophisticated than us? Yeah, I mean, you probably are, to be fair. Difference number 10, systems. In America, we use good old feet and miles, while Europeans use meters and kilometers.
Oh, God. This is, I don't know, we're trying.
This is still like so hard for us.
I also use Celsius for the temperature. So I think I'm kind of getting the hang of that.
Yeah, we're getting the hang of that for sure.
Yeah, so.
The metric system. Why is it called a foot, I hear you ask? Well, because it's about the length of a foot. I'm not kidding. That's actually why it's called that. In Europe, everyone uses the metric system, which is based on the number 10. So for example, water freezes at a nice 0 degrees Celsius and boils at a nice 100 degrees Celsius. In America, water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit and boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. I actually had to Google that because I did not remember the number. So fine, the Europeans do better with temperature. I'll give them that. Now, even though my driver's license says I'm 5 feet and 10 inches tall, I'm actually 5'8". But could you imagine me saying I'm 1.7272 meters tall? Like, what? Why? Or even worse, I'm 172.7 centimeters. No. I've been told people in the UK actually still use feet and inches for measurements, which makes sense considering they are the ones that actually created the imperial system way back when, but that's beyond the point. Europeans also travel vertically differently than we do here in the United States. When you get into your European coffin-sized hotel elevator, the first thing that you might notice is that the first floor is actually what would be the second floor here in the US. Usually the very first floor of a European building is called the ground floor, and then everything else just increases numerically from there. And here's a bonus difference. Europeans dress very fancily. I mean, seriously, dude, all of these stores were in the Rome airport alone. It's just a never-ending sea of overpriced designer apparel. Like, it's actually a little intimidating how well they dress. I just want to wear my Under Armour Freedom American flag shirt with some pajamas, dude. Like, what the heck? It's not that deep. You don't have to dress up for a job interview every time you go to your local supermarket. You should see the things I've seen at my local Walmart. It's atrocious. Maybe don't go that far. You don't have to wear the suit every day. Oh yeah, and I forgot about sirens. In Europe, they sound like... And in America, they sound like... So they're different. So obviously, it's a little difficult to assign overarching differences to a diverse continent like Europe. So I tried to choose differences that I believe do apply, for the most part, to most of the European countries, or if not, most of the countries in the European Union. So I hope you think I did a good job. Please be sure to support the video for free by giving it a nice like and...
All right. That was good.
That was great. This guy was funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious. All right. Okay, let's take a look here. Any thoughts on that one?
I thought it was great. He was clever.
Yeah.
Super clever.
All right, let's see. Oh, wrong way.
Well.
Americans are larger, Europeans are taller. Okay. As a European, I'm offended. I don't speak British. I was kind of thinking that, but
he said that?
Yeah, he said that.
Oh, I didn't hear him say that.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, let me see. Luxembourg. That's why I don't know. Also speaks German, French, and Luxembourgish. German and drunk, basically. Okay. Is it coincidence that I am drinking tea and eating a Big Mac? That's funny. Okay. All right.
That was funny.
If you stuck around this long, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you on the next video. Peace.
Bye.